Hey everyone, we're back again with our monthly dev blog. This month we have some new critters joining us, foliage and particle updates, new quests, and some work on distance dinosaur calls. Let's get right into it, starting with the new critters in the works. We've recently added Aquatic Critters to Gondwa. These critters are able to seamlessly transition between land and water and will attack players that try to escape into deeper waters. These critters can also be found in the open oceans or in the riverways and swamps of Path of Titans. The much-anticipated Goniopholis has entered the waters as an amphibious, crocodile-like reptile that can deal bone break damage in its alpha growth stage. This familiar-looking ambush predator's similarities are only skin-deep though, as this prehistoric version has large articulating back armor, giving it its namesake, angled scale, somewhat similar to the unique back scutes seen on Sarcosuchus. We also wanted to show you a few behind-the-scenes shots of us creating this ancient reptile, and a few close-ups of its skins and design process here. Another critter awaiting in the shallows, and coming soon, is the amphibious Tanystropheus. This Triassic water-dwelling reptile is 50% neck, and has been known to grow up to 20 feet long. Here are some work-in-progress snapshots of this creature, including the model creation process and a few skins too. New foliage is in the works, featuring several new species of bushes, trees, mosses, and aquatic crinoids. We hope these updates create new spaces for younger dinosaurs to hide and add more diversity to our plant life. This blue moss will be a collectible quest item that players will be able to find in specific locations of the map, and these bushes have been designed to be clear of branches on the inside, letting smaller dinosaurs hide within their leaves but still be able to peer out to watch for danger. These bushes will notably grow near shores to give players a safe place to drink or plan their river crossings. These new foliage pieces also include important features for upcoming quests that we will be actively working on. While we are still working on major improvements to our quest system, we wanted to highlight a few interesting quests that can shape the environment around you. It's important to note that these are quests in a looser definition of the word, so think of them more like world interactions that players can participate in that provide rewards for doing so. Among these new quests are knocking over a tree, in which an old weathered tree can be attacked and knocked over onto the ground. The fallen tree can then be walked on and even used to traverse gaps as a makeshift bridge, either to cross canyons or to stay dry while crossing a river. And if you're not fond of knocking trees over, then the old twisted trees can be interacted with as part of the Scratch a Tree quest. Interacting with the tree will allow your dino to scratch it, leaving its claw or horn marks embedded in the bark. These marks will stay over long periods of time, alerting other players to your presence. There are many more world interaction quests that we are working on, and we look forward to showing them off once they are ready to be shared. One of the ways we've been working on improving the visual fidelity of Path of Titans is the addition of different environmental effects to add that extra immersive flair. We wanted to share 3 effects that we've been working on recently. In our most recent game patch, we've updated our swimming particles to make them more realistic for our swimmers or curious paddlers. These larger splashes better show movement in the water, especially for our largest aquatic creatures like the Spinosaurus. Other effects that we've been working on include underwater smokestacks with their unique mesh displaying billowing cloudy water from submerged heat vents. Another is insect swarms, which will mark environmental carcasses and other deceased creatures, adding a level of immersion and intrigue for our carnivorous players. And lastly, we have been updating our distant dinosaur calls to make them more interesting while drastically increasing their audible range to better indicate the distance they are from the listener. The largest dinosaurs like the Tyrannosaurus, Spinosaurus, Tyrannotitan, and Eotriceratops have already been completed and released with this latest game patch. Players will now hear the ominous distant roaring of these massive creatures echoing far in the distance, giving them a chance to leave the area if they aren't looking for a fight or towards it if they are. Work is continuing on the next group of dinosaurs at the moment as we progress from largest to smallest downwards through our roster. Dinosaurs like Iguanodon, Allosaurus, Pycnonemosaurus, and Daspletosaurus, and others of similar size are up next, with many more planned for the future. We are currently focusing on the core calls for each dino, but if you want to hear more, let us know. While working on these distant dinosaur calls, we really wanted to include unique elements to make these calls more identifiable. This meant crafting new calls from scratch, as the in-engine processing options for the original calls wasn't going to accomplish what we wanted. This gave us the opportunity to get creative and really design what we wanted dinos to sound like from really far away without being constrained by any technical limitations, or for that matter, even realism, as we were more concerned with making things sound interesting and moody over strictly realistic, which in our opinion would be less interesting. Tonal elements were added or accentuated, overall frequency response was very heavily tailored beyond what was possible in engine, and code was crafted to allow these calls to seamlessly blend with the normal close calls to create a smooth transition as the distance increased between players. This is an ongoing effort, starting with the threaten and broadcast calls of each dino, and we are monitoring feedback and making adjustments as we go. Biome and locale-specific reverbs are the final piece of this puzzle that will really tie everything together, which will be coming later. We will keep you in the loop on progress on the distant calls for the other dinosaurs in the future, so be sure to stay tuned for future devlogs. And that wraps up our devlog for July. We wanted to let you know that the Outback skin pack is out now. Purchases like these help us continue development and updates to Path of Titans. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next month.